الله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تر إلى الذين أوتوا نصيبا من الكتاب يؤمنون بالجبت والطاغوت ويقولون للذين كفروا هؤلاء أهدى من الذين آمنوا سبيلا. أولئك الذين لعنهم الله، ومن يلعن الله فلن تجد له نصيرا. أم لهم نصيب من الملك فإذا لا يؤتون الناس نقيرا. أم يحسدون الناس على ما آتاهم الله من فضله، فقد آتينا آل إبراهيم الكتاب والحكمة وآتيناهم ملكا عظيما. فمنهم من آمن به ومنهم من صد عنه، وكفى بجهنم سعيرا. إن الذين كفروا بآياتنا سوف نصليهم نارا كلما نضجت جلودهم بدلناهم جلودا غيرها ليذوقوا العذاب. كلما نضجت جلودهم بدلناهم جلودا غيرها ليذوقوا العذاب. إن الله كان عزيزا حكيما. والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات سندخلهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا، لهم فيها أزواج مطهرة وندخلهم ظلا ظليلا. إن الله يأمركم أن تؤدوا الأمانات إلى أهلها وإذا حكمتم بين الناس أن تحكموا بالعدل. إن الله نعم ما يعظكم به، إن الله كان سميعا بصيرا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم، فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله والرسول إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر، ذلك خير وأحسن تأويلا. صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغ رسوله النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم.
Jazakallah, brother Faiz. So we inshallah start. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is describing us. Have you not turned away your vision to those who have are given the portion of book? Why the Ahl al-Kitab, Jewish people and Christian people are referring that they got the portion of the kalam. They did not get the whole kalam. What is the whole kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We have to understand Quran for that, because Quran is the complete book of guidance, and it encompasses all the previous scriptures. As we discussed that Musa alayhi salam, when he went to Tur, he was given the Torah. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Musa alayhi salam Torah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave equivalent to Torah to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Surah Al-Fatiha. These 7 ayats of Surah Fatiha are equivalent to the whole book of Torah. Isa alayhi salam, he was given the book of Injil. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave equivalent to that in Surah Al-Ma'idah. So the Surah Al-Ma'idah is equivalent to the Injil that was given to Isa alayhi salam. And Zabur that was given to Dawud alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given equal to that 7 surahs that start with Hamim. Collectively they are called Hawamim. And they are, if I'm not mistaken, 40 to 46. These are all the consecutive surahs. They start with Hamim. So Dawud alayhi salam was given, and his ummah, who followed, was given a portion. Portion means they did not get the whole of the book, but a portion of that, because they got only the book of Zabur, which is equivalent to Hawamim. And Musa alayhi salam and his ummah got what is equivalent to Surah Al-Fatiha, and Isa alayhi salam and his ummah, but the whole book. And these 7 surahs of Hawamim, 1 surah of Surah Fatiha, that makes it 8 surahs, and then Surah Al-Ma'idah, that makes it 9 surahs. So 9 surahs are the complete equivalent to all the previous scriptures. But what about rest of the Quran? The rest of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exalted his Nabi, as he described, وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ. O Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we exalted your name. So with the rest of that. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has repeatedly said to the people of Christianity that they were given the portion. Portion of that means that whatever Allah has revealed them, so each of the ummah got a portion of that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala referring with that you had got the portion of that. So nasiban means a portion. Nasib, that's like we say, also describe the fate of somebody. We say nasib, that means whatever the portion of goodness, we have it in the. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, those people who are given the portion of the book, يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْجَبْتِ وَالطَّاغُوتِ وَيَقُولُونَ لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا هَؤُلَاءِ أَهْدَىٰ مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا سَبِيلًا. And those people who are given the portion of the book, but they believe in sorcery and evil, and they to the unbelievers that these non-Muslims, they are better, although they have been given the portion of the book, but they say that they are more close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than these Muslims. So these people of book, do they have connection to the pagan religion? Yes, of course. Even to this day, you can see that. How they are connected to paganism, Satanism, and all those things, as sorcery, evil doing, and also, if I may use that term, that evil. Look at all their customs. Custom of celebrating Christmas. What is the background? It is the background of that is a pagan custom called Festival of Yule. That was celebrated in the Northern Europe, in the Scandinavia, and later on adopted by Romans as well. They, on every 20th of the month, they used to celebrate the celebration of Yule. Yule was one of the pagan gods. Look at this Halloween. That was another one that, they would, on Halloween night, they will go to graves and worship their dead ancestors. And that survives to this day. And they have also got some secret societies, this Masonries and all that. So they are nothing but they're evil worshippers and evil, they believe more on paganism than the teachings that was brought by Musa alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam and those things. But not only that they do that, but they also tell the non-Muslims that and they try to say that, and the blessed name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Mazallah, Mazallah, they're saying that it is the name of the moon god. It is all false accusation on those people who are given the portion of the book. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of that, because they know the truth more than anybody, they had all the indication of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and then they, out of their, to maintain their monopoly on the religion, to maintain the monopoly on the the teachings of Bible, what they did, they came up with these stories and thing like that. For a long time, when in the Europe, it was forbidden by the priest to translate any Bible into English, which was a common language, until one of the dissident, he escaped to Germany, and at that time Gutenberg press was printing out books, and so he had the book Bible translated into English, and he smuggled into England. Why? Because they wanted to maintain their monopoly on the religion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, Ulaika allazina la'anahumullahu, and whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala condemned, these are the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has condemned and cursed. And whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cursed, they shall not find any help at all. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had also mentioned there another case. First, they believe in evil and sorcery and paganism, but another quality Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing, that they are the power hungry, and if they are given the any kingdom, any political domain, they will never share that with anybody, and that is reflected in these struggles for the power, that what they came up with crusades. Basically, they were sick and tired of their fighting between these lords and the kingdoms. And that was all based on the greed of the domain, the greed of the power. And if they have their way, they will not give anything, even a smaller thing, to their fellow. And يَحْسُدُونَ النَّاسَ عَلَى مَا آتَاهُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ فَقَدْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also saying that, do not be envy of anybody who has given the more bounty than you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing people of book. Basically, the true religion is the religion brought by Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Ibrahim alayhi salam was given the book and the wisdom. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given the progeny of Ibrahim alayhi salam the great kingdom. So although Ibrahim alayhi salam was never given a book, but he was given the scriptures. So there were many scriptures that were given to Ibrahim alayhi salam, but the book was only given to the three of his three prophets from his progeny, Dawud alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Dawud alayhi salam, and Isa alayhi salam. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given all his descendants who were on the paths that they were given the wisdom and the book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given some of them the also the kingdom. So who was given the kingdom? Dawud alayhi salam. Dawud alayhi salam, when he slew the Goliath or the Jalut, his father-in-law, Dawud alayhi salam's father-in-law, he was the king, and he inherited the king from Jalut, Talut, who was his real name was Saul. He took over, and when he passed away, that kingdom was passed on to Dawud alayhi salam, and Dawud alayhi salam, in turn, his son Sulaiman alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a great empire. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning, that progeny of Ibrahim alayhi salam was given a great kingdom. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given a great kingdom to Sulaiman alayhi salam, and not only that he ruled over the people, but also he ruled over the animals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him control over the winds. Allah ta'ala had given Sulaiman alayhi salam the control over the jinns, ajinna as well. So if you combine all the properties of the different prophet, uh, you'll find it in none other than Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Dawud alayhi salam, he was famous for his beautiful voice. He would recite Zabur in a beautiful recitation or tilawat. So Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was not only had the most beautiful voice, but he had taught this skill of tilawat to his Sahaba Ikram, and this is again recited to this day in a very beautiful manner, that even when the tilawat is done, that even people who do not understand this language, people who don't even believe in this kalam, they get moved by it. So, and Dawud alayhi salam, not only that, but he was a physically very strong person. He was, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him a great strength that he could slew the mighty Jalut or Goliath with his single slingshot. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given the most physical strength to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And as we have described it before, that there were three major wrestlers in Arabian Peninsula in the time of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So they all one by one wrestle with one was Rakana Pahalwan, one Rakana the wrestler, on his son, Yazid ibn Rakana, and there was another person named Abul Aswad. They had all wrestled with Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam beat all those three major wrestlers of that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him the physical strength of Dawud alayhi salam, and more than that. Hazrat Saleh alayhi salam, he was given as a miracle she camel, and Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had a she camel too. Her name was Qaswa, and since all the prophets, they got the reflection of the miracles that was given to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So in their respective time, they got. So the she camel that Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had, her name was Qaswa, and the miraculous part about Qaswa was that when Quran was revealed to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his weight will increase many-fold, because Quran will come with very heavy spiritual and with very kafiyat and all that. So nothing, if he would have mounted on any other animal, that would have been crushed to death. But Qaswa was something that Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was riding on her back, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a revelation to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we were describing that how all the different prophets, they got miracles that were the reflection of the miracles of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And so just like Sulaiman alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given the kingdom to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the form of Medina. Medina was the first state that was established by Islamic state, and that he also gave this same teachings to his followers, his Khulfa, and that emerged as the greatest empire ever lived. That it encompasses what was Roman Empire and Persian Empire and Egyptian Empire, and that expanded into vast Islamic empire. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given the greatest empire to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and as a reflection of this kingdom, Sulaiman alayhi salam and Dawud alayhi salam were given the kingdom in their time. So they were some prophets were given the kingdom with their prophethood, and Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the one who had the best kingdom, the most vast kingdom over that. He was also given the kingdom over the ajinna, the jinns, and also the other miracles that was given to the other prophet. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, فَمِنْهُمْ مِنْ آمَنَ بِهِ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ صَدَّنَّهُ وَكَفَى بِجَهَنَّمَ سَعِيرًا. And some of them, they believe because they were seeking the truth, and there were a big number of people who were sincerely waiting for a prophet. And if you look at that, it was a long time. It was almost 600 years or good part of that after Isa alayhi salam. There was just a darkness. They had tried to crucify Isa alayhi salam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ascended him into the heavens. And after that, there was darkness. But they still had the teachings of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. They had still got the, so they were long awaited. So some of them converted to Islam. Sohaib Romi was the one. Hazrat Salman Farsi was the one who converted to Islam. And the son-in-law of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Talha bin Ubaidullah. So he was the one, he had heard about Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from a Christian priest. What he had done, he was a cloth merchant, and Talha bin Ubaidullah, who was the son of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, on his trade journey, he went to Syria. And Syria, one of the priests asked him, has Ahmed arrived? So he did not knew who Ahmed was. So he had never heard the name Ahmed. So when Talha bin Ubaidullah, when he went back to Makkah, that's when he realized that Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had declared his prophethood. And since he had heard it from the priest, and when he realized his father-in-law, Abu Bakr Siddiq, had accepted Islam, so he followed the suit and he accepted Islam as well. So again goes with the Ansar, that out of the tribe, like they were individual converts, but Ansar, the tribe of Aus and Khazraj, they were the two tribes. They collectively converted to Islam. And how did they convert to Islam? Because they had heard from their Jewish, Jewish citizens of Medina that a prophet was coming, and they would always threaten Ansar that, you should obey us because a prophet was coming, and it will be from among us. It means he will be from the Jews, and we will destroy you if you do not obey us. So when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam approached Ansar and gave them the invitation to Islam, this most of them, they said that, this is the same prophet that Jewish, tell us all about. So we should take a lead and, convert to Islam or convert to his message before Jews, do that. So that's how they did that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described, some of them converted and some of them, they turned away their face. So why they turned away their face? Although they had, it was their arrogance and all that they did not. So what will happen to those people? Allah said, "Inna allazina kafaru bi ayatina sofa nuslihim naran." So those people who disagree, who do not believe in our ayats, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will soon enter them in Jahannam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also describing what kind of punishment will give them. Once they went to the hellfire, and whenever their skins will rot, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them a new skin, and they will again get a new kind of punishment. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing that how their skins will be roasted, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change their skins, and they will again get a new. So one of the skin expert and neurologist who believe in the, so he tried to say that how do we get pains? How do we get the headaches? How do we get all that? His research was everything, that all the nerves that goes to skin, and when we get anything like a trauma or something like that, it is the nerves that transform from the skin to the brain, all the pain. So it is basically the skins. So when one of the skin expert, when he read, who was not a Muslim, when he read this, he realized that only the creator of the skin, Allah who has given the skin, can know what my research is. So he converted to Islam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing that all the pains and pleasure, they are associated with our tongue, our skin. So even our tongue, which enjoys different things like sweet, sour, and all that, basically they are the taste buds that are on our skin, and that let us enjoy the different taste. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Allah is exalted in power and wise. Allah, inna Allah kana azizan hakima. And wallazina amanu wa amilu salihati. So those people who believe and do the good deeds, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will very soon enter them into the gardens where rivers or the brooks are flowing, and they will live there forever. And for them, they will be the spouses for them, who are the pious spouses. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them the cool shade, and cool and very refreshing, which is ever covering and deepening in that. Inna Allah yamuruku an tuwaddul amanatu ila ahliha. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commands you to return all those trusts to those people it belongs to. And this is the sunnat of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that even before he declared his prophethood, all the Makkans used to call him Sadiq and Amin, the truthful and trustworthy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing this same thing for the Muslims. Follow the sunnat of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam of returning the trust and keeping the trust of the people. So much so that the night he was immigrating from Makkah to Medina, so the enemies of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had surrounded his house. They wanted to assassinate him. But his trust was so much among even non-Muslims, and even amongst his enemies, those who wanted to harm him. But when it comes to keeping that trust, they had kept that trust in the same house they had besieged, and they wanted to hurt. So when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam moved from Makkah to Medina, so he left behind Hazrat Ali, and he told Hazrat Ali to return all those belongings and all those amanats and all those goods that people have trusted with him. And he did not say, oh, they tried to assassinate me, so do not return it. But he gave a strict instruction to Sayyidina Ali that return all their belongings and then come to Medina. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that deal with people justly. So when you deal justly, so this is that common thing, that when Sahabas, when they expanded, when the territory of Islam was expanded into, so even where that political expansion was not there, these Sahabas, they on the trade mission went to the overseas through the marine route or through the travel caravans. Whenever they go, they left a mark. They literally follow the sunnat of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam of being the trustworthy and truthful. So whatever the business dealing they would do, they will do very truthfully, and they will gain the trust of people. And that was not only that they earned themselves a name for being a trustworthy business people and traders, but also it will serve as the propagation or the dawah of Islam. And this ayat, Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu atiu Allah wa atiu Rasulah wa ulil amru minkum. And O people of faith, obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his prophet, and also the people of knowledge. So who are these people of knowledge? So first of all, we have to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the commands that are given clearly in the Quran, and it has to be the one that is interpreted and taught by Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a command to keep the fasting in Ramadan, but it is Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, being the Rahmatullah Alamin, he made sahur or the breakfast his sunnah. So he said that this is my sunnah to do the sahri or the breakfast, and when we do that, this is what will be not only that it is easy on us for the fasting, but this is what Allah's Prophet had made it a sunnah of him, so that will bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who are those people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written, Atiullah wa Atiur Rasulah, and those people who are charged with authority? These are the people who have interpreted the religion for us. So these are the people, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal, so these are the four Aimmas. So they have the authority because they were at the level. So those people who say that, why do you follow Imam Abu Hanifa? Why do you follow Imam Hanbal or Shafi'i or Imam Malik? Because this is what this ayat described it, that follow Allah and His Prophet and those people with authority. Those people who have authority. Who have authority? Who has the thorough knowledge and the thorough characteristics, who are the sadiq, who follow sadaqat and amanat. So these are the four aimas, and that, so that's why we follow a fiqh. We are Hanafi and some people are Shafi. So that's why, because these are the people of authority who has right to interpret the religion in the light of Quran and Sunnah. And this is the what we follow. So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing that whoever believe that and follow this path, Allah and Allah's Prophet and those people with the authority, and this is the one path that will bring closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah guide us to right path and the blessed path. So inshallah we will stop here, and if there are any comments, inshallah we will.
Jazakallah khair, Ali bhai. Alhamdulillah. Very informative as always. Alhamdulillah, shukrillah. I remember you had mentioned about Dawud alayhi salam and about how he beat him before, but mashallah, mentioning about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's strength, that was a very nice point to mention, and the connection. Jazakallah khair.
Yes, Rakana the wrestler.
I've never heard. This was the first time I heard from you.
Rakana the wrestler was the most celebrated wrestler in Arabia.